All right, guys, what's up, man? We're live right here from the stew, man. Right here, I'm your boy. I'm your host for this podcast, right here, interview, Silvus_fit. And today, before I introduce who we have sitting on the couch, I just want to give a shout out to 710 Studios 710 for allowing us to conduct this sit down and just to chop it up with the homie right here. The homie's been going up. I've been following him on Instagram for a little while, and I just seen him. He's just going up, going crazy on Instagram and TikTok. And he's really with this fitness program, man. So without further ado, I want to introduce my boy right here, Coach Bandit, man.
What's cracking, everybody? Right here, Coach Bandit. Been right here working out for the past 11 years, you know what I'm saying, every day. See my boy Silva Fit on Instagram, like-minded, working out, nutrition, fitness, sober.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the main things, too. Fitness and sober, those are the two things that we kind of connect with. So he hit me up, and it was time to do a podcast, man, so we on it.
Hell yeah, homie. Hell yeah. Yeah, like I said, I hit you up. I was like, we got to get on it. Like, we know who you are through Instagram. We know, you see my Instagram. I appreciate it, homie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Checking the stories and stuff. So basically, when we post on our stories, we're just showing our day-to-day, right?
Yeah,
whether
daily
it's
life.
work, it's highlight, life.
Routine,
bro. All that stuff, right? And it's important, man. So, but I want to get to know you a little bit more. Like, what's up, dog? Like, from what I know, just from what I've seen, first of all, we're in from Dominguez Hills, right? Dominguez Hills?
Right, Dominguez, California.
Dominguez, California, right? So I'm not really familiar with that, man. Put me up on game with that. Like, I've never been to the city.
Dominguez, California, and it's right here in the harbor area. We all grew up right here. We're in the harbor area right now. So you got Dominguez, California, you got Long Beach, Wilmington, Carson. But right here, we're from Dominguez, you know what I'm saying? We got our own little area.
Oh, yeah.
Little neighborhood. It's not like a big city. It's a small neighborhood. We got the president side, the village side, and stuff like that. So that's where we grew up. And wasn't really much fitness around, you know what I'm saying? I don't have many homies into fitness or anything like that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like one of the first ones to really get into fitness. And then on top of that, with my social media too, I think my image, where I come from, being sober, being around the neighborhood, that's what's really helped take me off, you know what I'm saying? That's how, you came across my page, you know what I'm saying, from the stuff that I was doing and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it, man. Dominguez, California, that's where we're from. And born and raised, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, homie. So that's sick with it, homie. Like I said, shout out again right here at 710 Studios, man. But before we get into the fitness and all that, right, let's talk about your upbringing, dog. You know what I'm saying? What was it like for you? You know what I'm saying? Two parents, you know what I'm saying? Or you grew up, were you born and raised right here?
Yeah, well, I was born originally, like, as a baby in Long Beach, but all my family's right here from Dominguez, you know what I'm saying? Like, grandparents, cousins, so we're always back and forth, Dominguez, Long Beach. We had an apartment in Long Beach. And then we came over here to Dominguez. We got a house. And then from there, I got enrolled into Dominguez Elementary. And then from there, it was a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Met all the homies. Met some brothers. My homies right here. You know what I'm saying? Met them. And that was pretty much it, man. That's how we got started. Met the homie right here. Met Ronick. And, yeah, man, that's how we got it rolling, you know?
That's right, bro. That's right. So, basically, you're born in Long Beach. But basically, you grew up and raised right here in Dominguez.
Yeah, raised,
right?
yeah.
You guys got a college over here too, right?
Nah, the college is more in Carson. It's deeper.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Dominguez Hills, right?
Right, Dominguez Hills. Okay, that's why I said that too. So my bad. That's why I said that.
Yeah. Now there's two locations. So even in Compton, there's a Dominguez Hills right there too.
Oh.
So from what I know, like the history of Dominguez before Compton, before all of that stuff,
right,
everything was Dominguez.
Ah.
But then Compton branched off, Long Beach and stuff branched off, and then now so Dominguez is just a little smaller part. But that's the one that stayed, and that's where we all claim and where we're from, you know.
So that's considered harbor area.
Yeah,
was it like three? You said 3 or 4 cities on one?
There's a few more. You got Torrance.
Okay, that's considered harbor area.
Yeah. All of those places over there, that's all considered the harbor area and stuff like that. So that's what we all claim. You know what I'm saying? You got like people claim Los Angeles. People claim Compton. They only claim Compton.
Yeah.
Us over here, we all claim the harbor area. So it's different neighborhoods.
Yeah.
It's multiple. You know what I'm saying? But everybody over here claims the harbor area.
That's right. That's tight, bro. Hell yeah. So what was it like? I said, let's talk about like the pad and shit. Like you growing up, you know what I'm saying? So
growing up in the pad.
Yeah.
At first, when I was a kid, I was into nothing. I played sports,
right,
basketball, football. I should have kept playing. You know what I'm saying? I had talent, but I kind of turned into a different direction. Started kicking it with a couple homies. Started smoking. Started drinking, and then once I started doing both, shaved my head. After that, it was a wrap. You know what I'm saying? I kind of had a different image. So other people were kind of gravitating towards me. You know what I'm saying? And
right,
that's when I got into being with the homies, fucking around a little bit more and stuff like that. So that's how it started, all from my pad. But then we ended up moving. We lost the house,
Like that little ride, you know what I mean? On a bike or
probably
skateboard or bus.
15, 20 minutes.
Oh, so it's not far, not that
Nah,
far.
not far at all.
Oh,
Not
okay.
like nothing crazy far. It's walkable. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? Like it's walking distance. Not the smartest thing to do, but
Sure.
you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It worked out. So I never. Once we moved from there, we never came back. But I still stayed around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. You just can't come back to the hood.
Yeah,
You
it
can't
was
come
just the
back.
neighborhood. I
That's
wasn't
tight.
kicking it with nobody else. Or once you establish your homies, those are your homies. And like I said, my whole family is born and raised in the neighborhood. So my grandparents, cousins, family, everybody's right here. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it was.
I mean, hell yeah. So it took place in elementary school, you said, right?
Yeah,
Or
started
just going into middle school already, or what? Or
when I started like messing around and stuff like
yeah,
that.
like you say, you're taking the trips from East Side LB all the way.
That was about, I want to say, 9th grade.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I was a little bit
Freshman.
older already. Yeah, I was a little bit, yeah.
You're a freshman, okay. What about how was it at home, like with your parents and stuff like that? I'm saying you got siblings or
Yeah, I got a little brother and a little sister. They're way younger than me though. Right now, my little brother's 13.
Oh,
My
okay.
sister, I think, she might get mad. I might say it wrong, but she's like, I think 12.
okay.
I hope, my bad self if I said it
Okay.
wrong, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, they're younger. So I was the oldest sibling. So it was always me by myself.
Okay.
And then parents separated and stuff like that. I met my dad when I was 13.
Mm-hmm.
So for a long time, I was giving my mom hell, and then my dad came into my life and I gave him hell too. But I think having that father figure, it for sure, it kept me on the right path. Because I knew with my mom, it was like, I don't care if she trips, because she's like friendly, nice, you know what I'm saying? My dad, it was more like, nah, hey, you're going to be living with me. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. So having like that male figure finally, because I never had it from a baby to 13, I never had it. So when I met him, it kind of, even though I still messed up, I did some things, it's for sure changed me. You know what I'm saying? It gave me a different perspective. Like, I have fear now. Like, I want to go home, but I know if I do this, I'm going to get grounded. He's going to do something. You know what I'm saying? So it was more like he grounded me for sure. So shout out to my dad for that, man. I appreciate him.
Yeah, heck yeah. So that was you said at 13, right?
Yeah,
So up until
13,
up until
yeah.
13, you kind of were just, you said you were doing like kind of what you wanted to do, or
Yeah, it was
you were
smoking,
giving your mom hell, you said?
giving mom hell, sneaking out, jumping out the windows, partying, bringing people over, and not going to school. My whole year at Dominguez, right here at Rancho Dominguez, for the whole year, I didn't go to school. My mom didn't even find out until she got a letter in the mail that I wasn't enrolled anymore.
Damn.
So she would go to work, like at 7. I would act like I'm walking, and I'd just turn around and walk home. Once she hit that corner, I just come right back home. Hit the fence, because I didn't have the keys. Hop through my window, leave it open a little bit, bam. So for a whole year,
Damn,
she thought I was going to school. I wasn't going to school there.
Homie said 7 years old.
Nah, not 7.
Oh, okay. My
Ninth
bad.
grade, like 9th, 8th grade. Fool.
Oh, okay. My bad. I
Yeah.
thought you said that.
Nah, not 7, dog.
I was like, homie was.
Nah,
a
I was a little badass at 7, but nah, I wasn't that bad.
Nah,
I wasn't.
I was-
Yeah. I was a little bit older, like 13.
Okay.
13.
Yeah, it's funny because I sat down with one of my homies, right? One of the first ones I did with my homie Tyrone, and
Yeah.
we talked about, because he grew up a little different as well, man. He
Yeah.
talked about at an early age, bro, like at those years 5, 6, 7, that he was in for like just they were like kind of out there,
Going
like
crazy.
in the calle, you know, in the street, bro.
There's homies like that. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
crazy,
Started
man.
from a baby,
Yeah.
7, 8. It's probably good that I didn't start that early, because around that time, the neighborhood around here in the Harbor area, it was cracking.
Yeah.
So when I got into around it, it slowed down a little bit. It was still what it was,
Right.
but it wasn't as much. You know what I'm saying? I could
Right.
imagine if I was 7, 8 doing what I was
Man.
doing. It'd be hard to make it, dog. Not
Yeah.
everybody makes it out. You know what I'm saying?
So that's a trip that you said that also that 13 that resonates with me, dog. The reason why I have a 13-year-old right now too, man.
really?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know you have
And-
your son. I seen you
And
posting. Yeah.
so I got a 13-year-old, and he lives with his mom and stuff. And,
Yeah.
we're a distance away. I'm coming from the IE. They live over here in OC. So we have to
Oh,
do
they
that.
down the street from over here.
Yeah, exactly, man. Actually, right there in Costa Mesa too, man.
Yeah,
So,
I know where it's at.
And I can see that he struggles too, but we all need that male figure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and now it's mandatory. Without a male figure, a lot of people, like, realistically, when you see, women that are going through a lot of things, they're being a little toxic and crazy. A lot of times it's because they didn't have a male model.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There to show them, like, hey, nah, that's not right. Because when you're woman to woman, it's different. But having a father figure or even just a man figure that's there daily, it changes your life, man. And it plays a big part on if you have one or not and how you really grow up. Because as
Right.
a kid, you don't really understand. You don't have someone there grounding you like, hey, this is right, this is wrong. You have your mom, but it's different. They're softer, they're more caring. As a man, dog, you're going to tell whether you got a daughter or a son, especially a daughter, you're gonna be hard. I imagine if I had a daughter, and there's a lot of things that I'm not gonna be cool with. You know what I mean? So I'm scared personally to have a daughter because I know how I am. I know with a son, he could hold his own. You know, but when it comes to women, it's just completely different. In a world like this, you know, it's crazy. So that's one of the things I'm fearing for is to have a daughter, dog. That's one of my fears.
I think you're gonna do good, right? I think you're gonna do it.
Yeah, it'll be all for the good, for the better.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things, those thoughts coming out in the world. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, they get to an age, you got to let them go. You know what I'm saying? Right. So with a son, it's still gonna be hard, but just letting a daughter go. Yeah. It's like, man.
Right, yeah, you're gonna. Yeah, so that's a trip, bro. How we actually think about, like, we don't think about that when we're teens.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? When we're younger, you know what I'm saying? You get older.
But that's when you had yours.
I was 19, dog.
Yeah, you were still young, so you didn't even care. You wasn't even thinking about stuff like that. You know what I mean?
So this is my next question that I did want to ask you. So at 13, you said, did you move with pops, or were you back and forth with mom and dad, or what was that like?
I say at 13, I was still with my mom's.
Okay.
Until I turned 14.
Yeah.
And I got on house arrest. And after I got on house arrest, so my mom knew if I lived with her on house arrest, she knew I was gonna have the homies on my house arrest. You know, the homies, and it's closer. So my dad stayed in Lakewood, my mom was in Long Beach. So Lakewood was a farther drive. So when we were in court, my mom pretty much was like, oh, well, we're gonna do the house arrest at your dad's house. So it was even new to my dad because we never lived with each other. So we kind of, it was almost like going in, I'm not gonna say with a stranger. Obviously we were talking, we're hanging out more, but we never lived with each other. So whatever, I get off on house arrest. They pick me up from LP, you know, Los Padrinos. It's a juvenile hall for like teenagers and stuff like that.
Right.
So everybody around here, if you get caught up and you're a juvenile, you go straight to Los Padrinos. And if you don't go to Los Padrinos, you go to what's it called? Central. That's around like LA, I believe, if I'm correct. So I was in LP for about 2 weeks. They let me out, and then straight to my dad's. So that's how I got the relationship with my dad. Was the first 3 months I was on house arrest. It's just me and him. And my stepmom too, you know what I'm saying? So I dove into that. I was on house arrest, boom. And then even though it was weird, you know, on my house arrest, we were still fresh meeting and stuff like that. It brought us together, you know. I don't regret none of it. Even though it was house arrest, I did some stupid stuff, you know what I mean? That was probably like the best thing for our relationship because we were together 24/7. You know, he would go to work, he'd come home, I'm here. He'd wake up, I'm here. You know, his son's here sleeping in the living room. So for sure, it bring us closer. And even with my stepmom, you know what I mean? It was weird to me. I only had a mom my whole life. I never had a stepdad. I never had nothing. So to have a stepmom, it was like, it was different. So, but just having that 3 months of alone time, being like that every single day, it worked out big time. So that's when I went and moved with my dad.
Right.
That's when it started right there.
Man, shout out to your folks, man.
Yeah, my dad, mom, they raised me right. You know, I made my own decisions, and they for sure, they kept me away from it. I'm the one that I was interested in certain things, so I dove into it myself. They told me, you know, my dad's from a neighborhood, not from around here.
Sure.
So I had the guidance. I had someone telling me, like, don't do that, don't get into this, don't do that. And everything that he told me, it was true. Every single thing that he told me was gonna happen, or could happen, or will happen, or is gonna keep happening, all of it was true because he went through the same exact thing.
Damn.
So it was crazy, you know what I'm saying, how it went. And then it's funny because some of the people from Dominguez, the older dudes, they know my pops because the area is close from where he's from. So they used to get into it. So when I would tell my homeboys, like, hey, this is my dad, they'd be like, what? I used to do this and this and this with your dad, but like not good, you know what I mean? Like it was tension with each other. Yeah, so then I go back, I tell my dad, and he'd be like, yeah, he'll, you know, mess around, because he don't mess around no more. He's changed man, you know what I'm saying? God, everything, you know what I'm saying? So he changed it around. He don't mess around like that. But it was just crazy, you know, having my older homies know him, and then I'm living with him, you know what I'm saying? So it was a lot. It was a lot. But it was cool though, you know. Me and my dad, we still joke about it to this day. Yeah. It's cool, you know what I mean? At first it was a little tension, but now it's like we could say something and we just laugh, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you seen Boys in the Hood, right?
Yeah.
So would you think it was something like that, where, you know, when she goes to drop her son off and he goes stay with pops, and he's gonna go live with his dad, right, to learn how to be a man and stuff?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is it kind? I know it's just a movie, dog.
To be honest, now that you put it in that scenario,
you know what I mean?
I've watched that movie millions of times.
Yeah.
And it's pretty similar. Like, obviously different circumstances, different things.
Age and all that.
But like the reasoning of the mom dropping the son off there was to get him grounded. Because my mom knew, like, My mom was the greatest mother that I could ever have.
Right.
Like, she did everything for me. Washed my clothes, made my food. If the cops say, hey, we have your son, come pick him up, she's jumping. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah, that's what's up.
cops are chasing me, and I run through the house, she's opening the door.
Shout out
You know what I'm
moms.
saying? Stuff like that. So she did everything that she possibly could, but like I said, I took my route. But she, for sure, she did that for the best. You know what I mean? She didn't want me to leave. She was sad. You know, when the house arrest came, she was crying. It was sad. She wanted me there. She wanted her son there, you know?
Sure.
But she knew that where my mindset was, it wasn't there. So she knew that I needed that figure to kind of give me, and she knew that he knew what's up. He knew about the life. He lived it. He'd been through it. So she was like, oh, maybe this would change. And like I said, it helped to a certain extent. Obviously, I still, you know, was a part of what I did.
Yeah.
But for sure, it gave me a different perspective. And there was a lot of things that I wouldn't do because I'm like, nah, my pops, you know what I'm saying? Like, or he warned me about this and I'm getting signs not to do it, so I wouldn't do it.
Right.
So it for sure, whatever she did, whatever she thought, it worked. You know what I'm saying? It helped me out for sure.
Yeah, one thing about parents for sure they're gonna do is try to make those corrections. You know what I mean? For us.
Yeah, most
try
definitely.
to
And
get
then
us
when we're
from that.
kids, we don't understand it. We think that they're just picking at us. But now that I'm older and I have a different mindset, I understand that it's not them picking at us. They're trying to guide us, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it all makes sense, you know?
Awesome. Man. Yeah. Yeah. Better, dog. So those first 13 years, what's up with Pops though?
What's up with Pops? What you mean, like?
Like, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't in the picture you said those first 13
Oh, yeah, the
or-
first 13 years, yeah, just me and my mom.
Right.
Just me and my mom, no siblings.
Right.
Like I said, my little brother is like, what, 11, 12 years younger than me. So the first 12 years, it was just me and my mom. Me, my mom, and my grandma.
Right.
My boo got a tattoo right here on my chest. I know she gonna see this. She got it right here. But yeah, me, my mom, my boo. My boo was like my dad the first 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because we all lived together. So it was mom's, grandma. But they, you know, it's two people. So, you know, the roles kind of, they knew what they had to do. So they did right. They did right.
Cool. And I know you got a big family, dog. You know, all your
Yeah.
family's from the neighborhood and stuff. And is that mom or dad's side?
Mom, all mom's side.
Oh, that's all mom's
Yeah,
side.
yeah, all my dad's side's from the other side.
I got you.
Yeah, you know how that goes. You know what I
got
mean?
All right. Nah.
Yeah, they're from
Okay,
the other side. Yeah.
The reason why I'm asking is because so who were you looking up to, dog, as you were coming up, 7 years old? You know, I know dad's not there, but
I
who's
had-
your male influence? You know?
I had cousins that the ones that grew up right here in the neighborhood. I had cousins that they guided me. They used to babysit me and watch me. So even though it was just me and my mom and I didn't have my dad, I had males around me. Right. So I had, to a certain extent, like I kind of knew what it was like to kind of be a man. It's because I had men around me. So I seen what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So I somewhat was grounded, but at the same time, it was cousins, older cousins. So, you know, a cousin is only going to be able to do so much. It's not what a dad can do.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had the figures around me, but it wasn't to a point to where it was going to guide me to what I needed.
Yeah.
You know, I still had to find things out on my own. My mom had to kind of take the accountability to try to be a father somewhat.
Yeah.
But, you know, a woman can't do that role.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's why she sent me, you know, she sent me away. You know what I mean? In a good way. But yeah, dog, that's that.
Okay. Yeah, because, you know, the cut. And shout out to the primos, man. I got a big family, too, and it's like the same thing. That's what we look
Yeah.
up to, right? You know what I mean? And I see you're big Lakers right now. You know what I'm saying? So, growing, you play sports, you said, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Play
Basketball.
football?
Basketball. I play football, basketball, baseball, but my main ones were basketball for sure.
Basketball for sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what's your... I know what your football team is, dog, but let us know what sports teams you fuck with, dog, you rock with. You know what I mean?
So for sure, I mean, Denver Broncos, you know that one. That one right there is from one of my cousins that I used to look up to when I was a kid.
Gotcha.
So he's a Bronco
There it
fan,
is.
die hard. So the reason I'm a Denver fan, people ask, is because I looked up to my cousin. My cousin was there a lot, used to babysit me. We used to watch games together when I was a little kid.
Right.
So it was like one of those things that just stuck to me, you know what I'm saying? And then Lakers, you know, we're from,
Right.
we're Harbor area, Los Angeles. I
That's
got it
right.
right here tatted too. I mean, this is the HA, Harbor area, and it has Los Angeles in it too. So that's Lakers for sure. You know, we're not messing with the Clippers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
and then baseball, honestly, dog, I played baseball.
Right.
So as far as like to this day, some people will be like, oh, you're an Angels fan, this and that, because my cousins are Angels fans. So when I was growing up, I was with them.
For
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? Like I was with the Broncos.
Yeah.
But as far as like being a fan, like if you ask me now, I'll say I like the Dodgers.
Right.
But I don't even really watch. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
really get into it no more. I'm like the type I'd rather play, but I'm older now, doc. So as far as playing, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really into it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, like I said, I can relate to that too. Like I always loved playing the sport, you know.
Yeah,
Football is
yeah,
number one,
yeah.
but I think now even like one of like a bunch of homies that train and work out, dog. They've even said it like we're spending a lot of time watching sports, homie. When it's like, what are we doing for like
For ourselves.
with ourselves? You know what I'm saying? Like we're watching these men, we're watching these guys live out their dreams. And what are we doing, dog? You know what I'm saying?
Not
Like,
getting paid
but when
while
you
you-
really think about it, you know what I'm saying? When you really think about it, I mean, it's probably overthinking or thinking too much because it's sport, right? When you think about sports and all that, what do you think about camaraderie, cousins, family,
Yeah,
right? I
yeah,
come from the
getting
family,
together.
being together, barbecues. I hang out. All my family's all Raider fans. We have a couple here and there that's this
Yeah.
and that, but that's one of the big things we bond on. You know what I mean? That we
Yeah.
get together with. But like I said, when you really think about it, homie, is like if we're chasing our dreams, but we're watching these guys, live their dream out. What are we doing, dog? We're on the sidelines. We're not in the game ourselves.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like
So-
with people with fitness, they watch a lot of fitness on social media, but they just watch it
Yeah.
while they sit there and they eat a cookie.
Right.
I got people on my comments they're like, man, I'm watching this. You're talking to me while I'm eating a cookie. Like, man, I don't even want to eat this cookie no more.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, I respond. I try to respond to everybody in my DMs. I try to be cool, respectful. So if you tell me something like that, I'm like, man, get to it. You know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
sitting on the sidelines watching. You got everybody else showing you how to work out.
Yeah.
It's easy. You go on YouTube. You go on my page and copy my workouts just from scrolling. You can write down, this one, chest, back. It's that simple. But like you said, a lot of people are on the sidelines. They're too afraid to hop in. It's like they need a coach to tell them, hey, get in.
That's right.
But to a certain extent, yeah, you need a coach to tell you that. But a coach can't force you. I can't force someone to hop on the program.
No.
I can't force someone to be like, hey, you know what? Hop in, come to the gym with me right now. And then when you go home, eat this. I've tried it. Tried it with some of the homies and stuff like that. They don't listen. They'll work out with me, and then they go, and I see them in a video in the neighborhood drinking, and I'm like,
Homie.
the results that you want aren't going to come from that. Results come from doing what you need to do, not only in the gym, but when you go home. The gym is nothing, bro. You could go bust down hour, 30 minutes, but it's that 23 hours the rest of the day
Sure.
that's going to determine what you look like. You
Right.
know what I mean? I learned that the hard way from drinking for so many years and working out. Yeah, sometimes I work out for 3 hours, but it came to a point to where then after that 3 hours, I got 40s in my system. I got liquor. I got, pills. I got all this in my system. I'm not getting no results from that.
Hell no.
It's not possible. It's just, for a little bit when you're young, when I was 16, 17, yeah, I was getting by. But then you start getting a little bit older, body starts growing a little bit, you start expanding your waist, and it was like, nah, I got to a point where I was like, nah, this ain't it, dog. I know I'm putting in too much work, so I got to switch it up. So that's how that got started, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah, bro. And before we dive in, we're going to get to that right now in a second, but dog, you had some crazy wild comments. I don't really want to, we're going to get into all that,
Yeah.
but you did have some wild comments, bro, where you posted the burpee video and the food, or you reposted that video of the one dude where his homie walking behind him was like, hey, that's not how you do it, but whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, that shit was comedy. So when you reposted that, and you had said, you got to check my comments out. Like, you got fools in there saying, saying whatever.
Yeah, trying to correct
That's a
me.
trip, dog.
Yeah, you got people that are trying to correct me. I've been working out for 11 years.
That's a trip,
So it's
bro.
like when you're trying to correct me, I've been working out for 11 years, and then I go to your page, and you look like a buzzball. I'm kind of like, this don't add up, dog.
Buzzball.
You look, like a buzzball to drink.
Yeah. That's
You
what
look
I
like a
said.
buzzball, dog, and
That's
you're telling me
crazy.
how to do a push-up, a burpee, or how to do a certain exercise, or you don't even look like you work out. So it's like, come on, and I've learned that with social media, it's gonna come with that.
Right.
You know what I mean? You could have somebody with one follower, and it'd be a legit page. This dude got one follower, he follows 1,000. He's still gonna criticize you.
Right.
So I've learned to just ignore it. I see stuff. I'll respond sometimes, but I'll respond with something positive. Sometimes I might give you the same. Whatever you gave me, I might give it back. It just depends on how I feel. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But at the end of the day, it's gonna come with it. You know what I'm saying?
comes
And,
with
and the
us.
more that your social media starts growing, like you're gonna see it. Your social media is gonna grow.
Right.
And you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna be like, what? You might have had somebody do that already.
Right.
But you're gonna get to a point where you're like, man, why is this fool trying to tell me
I
something?
think
dog?
when I first started, homie, with the training and stuff, and I had like some fake pages and shit. Like,
Yeah,
fools were
no,
like-
sometimes
I
they-
was
they-
like, what? Like, and I think it was like on that one, honestly, dog. It was like someone that I feel like that knew me, dog.
Oh, yeah.
Because they said some specific things, and I was like, damn, homie, like it was a trip, bro.
It's crazy sometimes, like when it comes to social media, bro, there's gonna be some people that you know in person that they don't like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they might just make a page just to fuck with you. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
crazy.
Just to
That's a
try
lot
to
of
throw
effort.
you off, and it's a lot of effort and it's a lot of negativity. But when you learn, you get to a certain point. Like at first, it was getting me mad. I remember even my girl was telling me, she's like, hey, you got to calm down. Like, stop reading them. Because when my page first blew up,
Right.
I wasn't used to comments on my stuff. I wasn't even getting that many likes. So for me to start getting all these comments, and then I'm from the neighborhood, you know? So obviously, you know, when you come from that background, respect is everything.
Right.
So when I'm getting disrespected, I'm like, hey, wait, hold up. Like, what do you mean? You disrespecting me? You know what I'm saying? So I would go back, but then my girl kind of grounded me, and she was like, hey, you know, like, it's not this, it's not that. And even my dad too, because he was like, hey, bro, like, don't listen to those comments, you know? And then I was like, all right, yeah, I gotta let it be. Because it's people that are unhappy, you know what I'm saying? None of those comments, they don't look nothing like me. They look the complete opposite.
Right.
You know, so it's easy to sit on the sidelines and be like, oh, this food is. You know what I'm saying? So I've learned that you just gotta ignore it, you know what I mean?
And yeah, dog, like I said, it's just a trip, man. And just to bring it back a little bit, I know you were smoking, drinking, all that. I'm sure the influence came from, well, you can tell us right now, but the influence probably came from being around the homies, from being curious, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Well,
at
honestly,
what age did it start, homie?
What age? It actually started before the homies, dog. So realistically, I think most people could relate to this if you got a big family. The drinking started from my family, dog.
There you go.
And you know, even my mom will say she knows that the way that I was growing up, they were partying a lot. I remember in the garage in the neighborhood, they had a hookah. They had an extra fridge in the garage, all full of alcohol.
Right.
So, you know, me as a kid seeing that, to me, it was normal. It was like, oh, this is what you do when you're an adult. You smoke hookah, smoke vapes. I mean, it wasn't vape shit back then.
Nah.
It was hookahs and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they would smoke hookah, cigars. And then, like I said, the garage was stocked. So it started there. It was
Right.
me. I forgot who it was. I don't know if it was my cousin or one of my friends when we were a kid. I think it was one of my younger friends. And we went to the garage. Everybody was in the backyard, and we just started smoking on the hookah. And then it was like, oh, this is nasty. So we're like, let's try the alcohol. So first we tried a beer, and then we were like, it was a Bud Light too. Tried a Bud Light, nasty. You know, I'm a kid, dog, so you know your taste isn't the same.
Sure.
And then we took a shot, and then we were like, oh. And then we didn't like it, but then we felt the little head change.
Right.
And then it was like, oh, that's what this does, you know? And then we
Yeah.
got a little hyper about it. And then that's where it started. We never got drunk. This was young. I want to say 10. 10. My mom don't know that. She's probably gonna be like, oh man, but it wasn't her fault. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, Mom.
You know, being curious as a kid and you see things, that's what I seen. So that's where the seed kind of got planted. So
Okay.
it wasn't even from the homeboys.
Right.
And then, so where it really started is, I want to say I turned about 12, and then I smoked for my first time. I smoked a blunt, and it was like some chronic. And I remember I was a kid, so I smoked it, and I was so high, I was laughing. We were laughing for like 2 hours. So we would smoke, and we're like, oh man, let's try a Smirnoff with this. Then we got crossfaded. After that, it was a wrap. It was every day. It was every day, dog.
Damn. So then progressive stuff. Yeah, 12 years old, man. Sadly, that's like the age, dog. I mean, we all find that kind of discover that.
When you grow up around it, you're gonna be interested to it. You know what I'm saying? I've said this before on my page. If you hang around 9 gang members, you're gonna be the 10th one. So who you're around and what you're seeing, even as a kid, like if all your family are doing something, it's like you see with little kids, they get put onto a hood and they're like 7, 8. And that's because they're people they're around. You don't just do that out of nowhere. Usually it's your family that's from the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So wherever you're around as a kid, you're gonna gravitate towards that. So drinking for me, it was already like, I knew for sure I was gonna drink. I knew for sure alcohol, it was gonna come eventually. You know, after I drank that little time, it was like, I'm not gonna do this a lot. You know, it was like, we just tried it. I was like, when I get a little older, I told myself, like, when I hit 13, I'll try it.
Right.
And then hit 13 and, you know, took a blunt, took a Smirnoff, because the Smirnoff tastes like soda.
I remember that.
So it was like we were smoking a blunt and drinking soda.
Right.
And next thing you know, it ain't soda. You're walking around and you're only like 13. That's young. That's a small body. You're not even fully developed.
Sure.
So to be doing that at that age, you know, we were getting a little crazy with it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's where it started all right there.
And then it just like enhances everything else. You know what I mean? Whatever else you're doing, it's
yeah.
like,
And then it started, we used to have a spot right here in the neighborhood, Cardenas, Wham Whams. I don't know if you know what a Wham Wham is. It's a computer duster.
got you.
So you get the computer duster, you get a towel, your shirt, and just hit it. Your head, it's like Nas.
Yeah.
Your head starts whamming. So we're doing blunts, Smirnoffs, and Wham Whams.
Right.
All that 13 walking around the neighborhood, just stupid. Nobody would know because we're just little kids laughing and stuff like that. But that's how it all started, dog. Wham Wham, Nas, and a little chronic blunt.
Man, we didn't know it as wham wham, but we do it as the duster.
The duster,
And
the
then the
duster.
Nas came in.
Yeah. Maybe that might be something that they say in the Harbor area.
It might,
A
yeah,
lot
it
of people they know when you over here and you say, hey, you know what the wham wham is? Everyone's like, oh yeah, I remember that. It's the computer duster
Yeah.
for the keyboard.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah, you inhale that. We used to do axe too.
Okay, axe is
The
pretty
axe
wild.
spray.
Axe is
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
wild,
So
dog.
the axe wasn't as strong. So when you would hit the axe, you would have to hit it for like 30 more seconds. You would have to really hit it, and then it would hit you.
That's crazy.
So yeah, we're over there inhaling axe on the bus, dog. Just getting high off
Trying to
axe.
get a head change.
Yeah, trying to get a head change. I think my mom stopped buying me axe because so much was going away. You know what I mean? And then I came home smelling like crazy axe. So it's like you're not putting that much axe on. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think, from your perspective? What do you think? Because we grew up seeing our families drink.
Yeah.
I did too. I mean, it's just it's a
It's
normal thing, right?
A common thing.
It's
Yeah.
It's a normal thing people do to convive, come together, have a good time, you know. And it truly is when you're in control of it, right?
Yeah.
But from your perspective, dog, why do you think, people do turn to drinking or drugs or anything like that, homie? You know?
I think most times, like from my experience, it's from not knowing who you truly are. So you kind of go into it, you don't have a plan daily for with your life or what you're gonna do with yourself. You know, as a kid, you always hear, oh, you gotta go to college and find out what you wanna do with your life. But as a kid, you haven't experienced enough to know what you really wanna do.
Right.
So I feel like a lot of times people are just lost. They try it once, and then a lot of times they realize it's like an easy way out. You know, you have a hard day. Oh, drink this beer. Or let's go to the bar. Let's go to the club. Hey, let's turn up. Let's go with the homies. Let's get faded, and let's just have a good time, and let's deal with it tomorrow. So I think that's where it starts. And once you realize how easy it is, like I could go to the store right now and I could get drunk in 30 minutes. That's how easy it is. Right. So when you realize how easy it is and how beneficial that temporary feeling is,
Yep.
you get stuck to it.
Right.
And then when you've done it for so long, it's like, I have so many people that have been alcoholics for like 20 years, right? They think that they got to be alcoholics for another 20 years.
Right.
But realistically, it's like, nah, just because you did something the last 20 years, you don't got to keep doing it.
Right.
But I feel like people are just so lost and they don't, like I said this earlier today on my page. You got to drop the alcohol and find out who you really are and what you want to do with your life. Once you find that out and once you find out what you want to do with your life, you're not even going to want to do that. Because like with me, right? I want to be a coach. I am a coach.
You are.
And I want to keep growing and growing. Me drinking, me smoking, me doing all this stuff, it's not going to better that.
All right.
I'm an image. You know what I mean? I'm supposed to be someone that is fit, in shape, follows my nutrition. Everything that I talk about, I got to do.
For sure.
So that's why I know what I want to do. So that's why once you figure it out, it's easy. But so people are so like scared to figure that out because they don't want they don't want to hear from the homies, oh, you're lame fool, oh, you're their peers.
Right.
They know it's how it's going to come.
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure. Their peers are going to peer pressure them. So that's a big thing right there. People don't want to change because of that.
Yeah, and it could be, like you said, dog. You don't want to look a certain way.
Yeah, you don't want to. You don't want to look like a lame.
You don't wanna
Straight
look
up, you
straight
don't.
up.
I had the same thing. Like I went, I would get sober for like 60 days, and then I'd be like, man, fuck this, man. I feel like I'm lame. I feel like I'm boring. I'm seeing the homies turn up, so like I'm on my phone. I'm seeing the homies partying, and I'm like getting mad. Like, man, I'm over here doing nothing. Like, man, come on, you know what I mean? And I wasn't coaching and stuff yet. I was in the fitness, but not how I am now.
Sure.
So I always went back. I always relapse, go back, and then I'm doing the same thing again. Waking up, hungover, anxiety. I don't know if you know what anxiety is.
Anxiety. That's the anxiety that comes after all the, the
So,
guilt and all the shame and all that. Or?
Anxiety is basically, it's a hangover and anxiety combined. So obviously anxiety already, I don't know if you experienced it before,
yeah.
but it's like you feel like you did something wrong. You feel like something's wrong. You just don't feel right. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So what I used to get, I never really got anxiety sober, but I would get anxiety. So the next morning, even if nothing was wrong, like I would have like a guilty conscience. Even if I didn't do nothing, something would feel like not right. And at first I was just like, maybe I'm still kind of intoxicated or maybe something. But then I got to a point to where I seen a post talking about anxiety. And to the T, I read it and I'm like, boom, that's what I'm feeling. Bro. So when I found out about that, that's when I slowly started. This was a little deeper into my drinking career, but then I slowly started like, you know what, I don't want to feel like this.
Right.
And that's when it started to slowly change. I messed up a bunch of times, dog, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But that's when it slowly started to change.
It's a trip how you could think of it so much and then boom, it pops out of nowhere.
Yeah, it
Like
comes
when
up
you
out of
saw that,
nowhere. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
almost like, I mean, I'm not gonna put labels on it, but you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, no, I definitely anxiety. I mean, I experienced it sober, and I've done a lot. I've had a lot of days sober, homie, and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
know you've been sober now for a minute, right?
I've been almost like 2 years now.
Man, that's crazy, dog. You
It's
know,
been
you
a
just did
minute.
it cold turkey, or
Nah, like I said, I was
you're
going
winging it off, or
I want to say I stopped drinking like at 22.
okay,
But then, like I said, I'll go 60 days and then I would be doing good. I would post about it. Hey, I'm 60 days sober. Everyone would congratulate me and stuff like that.
hell yeah,
And then next thing you know, I'm in the neighborhood again and people are like, what are you doing? Because I got a bottle in my hand.
yeah,
So I had the thought of getting sober for a long time,
Right.
but I was never able to back it up and stay consistent with it until about, I want to say you're going to turn 24. When I turned 24 is when I completely turned it around.
So, did at any point, dog, in your drinking career, was it ever a problem? Was
Like-
it just alcohol that was like that you were messed up on, or that was like obviously having you?
Like, are you
know-
talking about like if there's anything else?
Yeah, well, obviously, if there's anything else, but if it's just only alcohol, but the question is like basically is, did it start becoming a problem for you? Was it aside from you wanting to change, but was it affecting you in any certain way, dog? Financially, anyway,
it
dog.
was messing up my whole life.
Okay.
It was tearing up my whole life, and I didn't realize it because I didn't think it was alcohol. People used to tell me like, "Oh, you're an alcoholic." I'm like, nah. I just liked it. When I got into my 20s, I would just drink really on the weekends. It wasn't a weekday thing.
Right.
But I would drink so heavy.
Right.
So I'm the
Make
type
sure
of drinker
things
that, let's say I pop open a beer right now. What time is it? It's 5:24. I'm not going home until 5:24 tomorrow. You know what I mean? So
Straight up.
I was spiral and it was just a bunch of negativity. So I was doing stupid things. I was waking up, not remembering what I was doing. I'm getting phone calls. Hey, you did this. You were over here. You did that. Oh, you fought this person. You did this. And I'm like sitting there like, damn, I did all that in one night. I'm like, and I don't even remember.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm losing stuff. I'm losing things. I'm holding on to certain things. And then I wake up. I'm like, oh, where's it at? And then the homie calls me like, I have it. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Thinking I lost it. I'm about to owe money. You know what I mean?
Right.
Stuff like that. So yeah, it was for sure negative. That's how I knew for sure I needed to stop. It wasn't just because I knew alcohol was bad. It was because I was doing crazy things off of
Right,
alcohol.
right.
If it wasn't for that, maybe I never would have stopped. But I needed that. All
Right.
those crazy things I did or was doing, I needed that in order to stop, dog. So it was for sure a negative spiral. Most 100% on these streets right here.
Man, it's a trip you said that, bro, because I got the similar story, dog.
Yeah.
And I don't think if it was for, say I was never getting out of hand or out of pocket, doing all that crazy stuff you're talking about, dog, I did the same thing, homie.
Yeah, you
It
still-
was just
you
different
still be
shitty,
drinking.
bro. You know, waking up to calls, you know, waking up to my mom kicking me. Man, you know what you know.
Yeah,
stuff-
what you did last night. Yeah.
The shame, the guilt, and that for me that just makes for more drinking because I can't deal with that.
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
gonna numb myself some more so that I can start to face this.
Yeah,
and see,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I'm saying, dog.
Yeah,
and
so
it's
you don't
just,
have to
like
deal
you
with
said,
it.
it's a spiral, and that's what happens to us, dog. So, you know, but congrats to you, dog, because
Yeah, I appreciate it, homie.
because it's some real thing, homie. It's not the easy thing to get sober, especially like in our backgrounds, homie. You know what
No,
I mean?
it's one of the hardest things to do
So-
in this life. You know what I mean? Because alcohol is so normalized.
Yeah.
So when everyone's doing something and you try to stop, it's hard. And then it's frowned upon, dog. Especially when you're from a neighborhood. So if you're, growing up in a neighborhood and stuff like that, like
Sure.
from it, it's frowned upon to change. A lot of people don't talk about that, dog.
That's
But
crazy.
one thing on my social media, I know you pay attention. I talk about stuff like that because nobody really does.
Right.
So let's say you're from a neighborhood, right? The moment that you want to change, people want to kind of talk down upon it.
That's right.
Like, oh, you're different, fool. Oh, no, you're not coming to the hood. Oh, that's 13. You know what I mean?
Right.
And stuff like that. So I play a big part in standing in what I want with myself.
Right.
Because I know we deserve better than that. You know what I mean? It's not bad to change, dog.
Talk
You could
about it.
change whenever you want to. If it's for the better, God's gonna see that. You know what I'm saying? He
That's what I'm
knows that you want to change. You want to do better. And if you change it for yourself and your family, that is, you give me all the 13s you want. You know what I'm saying? My family, my parents,
Yeah.
my siblings. I don't have any kids yet. My lady, all of that. That means everything to me.
That's right.
So if I gotta take whatever I gotta take for that, it's cool. But a lot of people, they're afraid of that.
Yeah.
They're afraid of conflict, so they don't want to stand up on what they believe in because they don't want that conflict. They know in the back of their mind this is gonna happen. Then everyone's gonna look at you, oh, you're lame, you're this. Man, so what? Call me lame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My actions speak for itself, dog. And nobody calls me lame and stuff like that. I might be a little different. Some people might see it as a certain way. But look what's happening with my life, dog. Opening new doors. I haven't drank in 2 years. No, I haven't done drugs in a minute. Nas, I got money. You know what I mean? I got my own place. Before when I was drinking, I didn't have my own place.
Okay.
I didn't get my own place until I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
I didn't find my lady until I got sober.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I was still drinking, my lady, Bro, she's not.
She ain't messing with you.
She ain't playing with that. No,
Yeah.
my lady's not. No,
She ain't messing with that.
my boy right here knows. I'm when I drink, dog. I'm Rampage, dog. Rampage, you know Rampage Jackson, UFC.
Jackson.
I'm busting through doors, literally. Like, nope. He knows, busting through doors, busting through people. Hey, well, what we doing? We're going here. Or who wants to fight? It's crazy, dog. So that's why, you know what I mean. I learned. I'm like, nah, I can't. Too wild.
Yeah.
It's just like a little hothead ticking time bomb. So I'm already like that sober. So
Right.
imagine alcohol.
Right.
You put alcohol in it, man, it's a wrap. So that was one of the things for me for sure right there, man.
Just makes it worse, dog. And
Yep.
And like I said, you represent a lot of people, bro, that have that same similar story.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you talking about it on Instagram, you know, because there's a couple guys on there right now too that, you know, they kind of have that similar story, and they're like, hey, homie, like, I just made a change, bro. You know, some guys are older, so, you know, they're for real, they're for sure, like, you know, kind of away from the BS. But
Yeah.
you represent a lot of guys, especially like young guys, homie.
Well, yeah, I'm only 26, so
what I'm saying.
there's a lot of youngsters like on my page. I'm not gonna tell nobody's name or nothing like that,
Yeah.
but they see what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, "Man, you're the only younger dude talking like this." And I'm like, "Yeah." And realistically, I've had older homies reach out to me for advice too.
That's real.
And I'm only 26, dog. I've had older homies, 40s and the 50s. Hey, dog, this is going on in my life, man. What do you think I should do? And I tell them the straight game. You know what I mean? Just from my opinion, I get it. I'm younger, but I know that the way that I move is just a little different. With fitness, when you get in shape, you get your life together, you get sober, your whole mindset is different. It doesn't matter what your age is.
Right.
You know what I mean? No matter what age you get sober, you get in shape, you're gonna grow.
Yeah.
And you're gonna see life differently that other people don't. Because when you drink, dog, your mind's all foggy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't think right. You don't think you could achieve certain goals.
Right.
That was me, dog. I used to talk about goals.
Yeah.
When I was drunk, I'd be like, man, I'm gonna have my own gym one day. I'm gonna have this. I'm gonna be a coach. But I never did it. Then I got sober. Then I started doing it. You know what I mean? I wasn't dealing with hangovers. I wasn't broke.
Right.
I had a little bit more extra change in my pocket to
Right.
invest in myself and stuff like that, get mentors, coaches. And then once I did that, I'm like, this is what I want to do.
Right.
So that goes back to saying people need to find out who they are and what they want to do. So when you remove that alcohol, when you've done it for the last 5 years, 10 years, you're going to find out who you are for sure. Even if you don't have a plan yet, you stay sober, you keep at it, you keep trying, keep learning new things, investing, you're going to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? No matter how long it takes. You know what I mean?
I know you've been training for like you said 11 years now.
About 11 years when I got on house arrest when I was 14. So I'm 26 now. So whatever the math is right there, it's been about 11 years.
And so what got you into online training, dog?
Online training. So I was doing in-person training. I worked at a few gyms. And then it was cool and all, but it's real time consuming. And then if you're not at the proper gym, it's pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to really get into personal training, you got to be on it. You got to have a good spot. And you got to live there. So I did that for a little bit. And then I ended up going part-time. It wasn't getting the checks that I needed. Yeah. So I got my job, whatever. Then I got the job that I'm at now that I told you about, working the 4 days on, the 4 days off.
Right.
And then after that, I was like, you know what? I linked up with Coach Guerrero. Shout out to Guerrero Fitness.
Shout out to G Fit, Guerrero Fitness.
Guerrero Fitness right there. We tapped in with him. Got on a program with him. And he changed my life, dog, for sure. If there is no Coach Bandit, there is no social media platform that I have without Coach Guerrero, dog. He put me on game on a whole different level. I did a bodybuilding show. He pulled up, talked to my family, talked to me. And it was real respect from the jump. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, like-minded individuals, he see me. He told me from the start, he's like, yeah, you're different. You know what I'm saying? Because my image,
Yeah.
my age,
Yep.
and the vision that I had and that I still have, he was like, yeah, you're going to do it. So he was one of the people that for sure he put that in my head that I can do it. So even to this day, like, I'm sure you get negative thoughts and it's like, man,
Hell yeah.
You get a slow day, like, it's not working.
Hell yeah.
You don't get a certain amount of views or likes on your page. You're like, oh, man. But one thing he taught me was just to keep going, dog. Even if one person understands your message, that's one person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the more that you keep going, the more that it keeps growing. So, man, my Instagram was, I say 3 months ago, I was probably at like 10K.
Yeah.
I'm at about 55K now. I got over 20 clients. So my stuff is just growing. I'm working on getting my LLC. I'm working on, clothing and all that stuff like that, man. So having that Coach Guerrero, dog, like I said, shout out Coach G. He put me on, dog.
Man, Guerrero Fitness, shout out, homie. That fool he was showing love too, man. So I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
It's all
And,
respect.
That was another question I have for you too. Was did you have a mentor? Did you have a coach? And you
Yep.
solidified it right there with
Yep, I
Guerrero
had two.
Fitness,
So I
man.
have Coach Guerrero, you
Yeah.
know, he showed me the online way for sure.
All right.
And then one of my boys from Long Beach, his name's Philosopher, OG. He's a Crip, you know what I mean?
That's right.
So from the jump, I met him, and I've known him for like since 2016. But like-minded individuals, we come from the same kind of background. Obviously, he's from a different side. You know what I mean? But it was similar, like mindset-wise. So he put me on a program, and that's what really changed my body right there. Because he's a bodybuilder, so he does bodybuilding and stuff like that. So when I did my show, he's the one that coached me for it. So having him, those two right there. It was. I had two mentors, dog.
Those are
the OG mentors that I needed them for sure because they came through a similar lifestyle. So like I couldn't have just your average coach. Right. Like let's say someone that grew up with a nice life, you know what I'm saying? Not into the neighborhood or nothing like that. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. That's good. Like shout out to you. You lived a better life than me because of that.
Right.
But that's not the mentor that I needed. I needed the two mentors that lived what I did. And so that way I could pick their brain and see their vision because they made it out. You know what I'm saying? They got their own house. They got their gym. I know Coach Guerrero, he does his own thing, but my boy Philosopher has his own gym, has his own family set up. You know what I mean? So seeing that, it's just inspiring just to know that I'm still so young. And I think, honestly, they told me I started earlier than them. To me be starting at this age and to know where they're at their age, I'm like, man, I could do it too.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So yeah, having those mentors, man, it pushes me a lot. Every single day, even to this day, dog. I had a bad workout today. And I was like, man, I don't want to post. I don't want to do nothing, dog. Like straight up. But I understand that the moment you give into that, it spirals.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have 2 bad days, 3 bad days. So I was like, nah, I'm going to shake it off. I'm going to come chop it up with the homie, do this podcast.
Hell yeah.
And we're going to get some momentum going, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now my energy's back. You know what I mean? I feel solid. It might be the coffee that I drank, that protein I was telling you about, but I feel good right now, dog. I feel better than that shitty workout I had for sure.
Man, you know what? Let me say this, man. From the outside looking in, right? We see you post on your story, you post on your page. You know what I mean? Coach Bandit, new reel. Coach Bandit, new story, homie. Click on the story to see what he's talking about. You know, from the outside looking in, we can't tell, dog. You know, just like when I post on my shit, if I'm talking or whatever. People, my followers, they can't tell how I'm feeling. All they can see is like, man, this guy has confidence to go and speak on his story.
Positivity.
To say this, right? But really, dog, tell them how we get through it, dog, when we have those thoughts. When we have those negative thoughts and negative feelings, you know what I'm saying? Is like you said it right there. Coach told you what? Man, just keep going. How do you push past that, homie? When you do have those thoughts, I don't want to post today, homie. I fucking posted yesterday. I'm posting the same thing over and over, right? How do you get overcome that? You know what I mean?
So pretty much I just think about it and it's like, man, I know what it's like to quit. When I was a first trainer, I was training at EOS. I quit because the money wasn't coming in. I wasn't getting clients. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else was getting clients for some reason. I don't know what it was. You know, I don't know what was going on, but I wasn't getting clients. And I was like, man, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm going to quit.
Yeah.
So that was something that I regretted. So every single day, knowing what it's like to quit and to realize like, damn, I messed up. If I just would have stuck through with it, imagine where I would have been at now. You know what I mean? Yeah. So just knowing how it is when you quit, that's what keeps me going. Even if I feel bad, it's like, you know what? Even if someone don't like this post, I'm still going to post.
Sure.
I'm still going to like it. I'm going to move through it, and it's going to help me hold myself accountable. Because it's easy. When you don't post on social media, it's easy to give in. That's why a big thing for when I post about sobriety, I'm not going to lie, Instagram helped me stay sober.
That's what's up.
Because it was like this. I was putting out that I'm sober, right? Oh, I'm sober. So if I go to the neighborhood and I go drink, it's like, wait, you just said you were 50 days sober. Now you're a hypocrite. So I was doing that for a long time. And every time I would get sober again, I got tired of people telling me, oh, you're just going to be drinking next week. Oh, you're going to do it. You know what? You might be sober for another 30 days, but you'll be back. And I got tired of that, dog. Like straight up, I got tired of it. And I'm like, you know what? I told myself, I'm going to keep posting this on Instagram that I'm sober. I don't care how many times I do it. Even though I've messed up time after time after time, I'm going to lock it in. And I locked it in. And like I said, it's been over about 2 years now, and I'm not going back, dog.
That's
because
crazy.
I see where my life's at.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Bro.
So without sobriety, there is none of this. We wouldn't be here right now. Or you would probably be here, but it wouldn't be me, dog. Like,
Thank
you'd
God.
be talking to somebody else.
I
You know
probably
what I mean?
wouldn't be here right now because if there's no Coach Bandit, I'm not going to meet the homie, pull up to the studio, and this podcast don't happen, dog.
Exactly. So, different changes.
Yeah.
It makes these connections, you know what I'm saying? And it's the changes that you need to make for your life.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they're afraid to make that change.
Right.
But once you change, it opens up so many doors, dog. It's crazy how many doors you start to see open. And when you come from, like I said, Dominguez is a small neighborhood. So when you come from a small neighborhood like this, to see what doors you're opening, even meeting Coach Guerrero, dog, he has a big platform. He's big. Yeah. So even when I was meeting him, I'm like starting to think like, damn, I could do what he's doing. I could be just like him, and he's telling me that I could do it. So
right.
so hearing that
That's
from him,
real,
I'm
homie.
like, oh man, I'm like, there's no way that I could quit or I could stop. No matter how I feel, everybody has negative days. Everybody's gonna have a bad day, a day where they don't feel like it. But the ones that really push through it are the ones that they push through it actually, and that way that's where they get to where they need to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whatever their goal is, they're gonna get there because they're gonna show up on the days where they don't even feel good.
Yep.
So that's what keeps me going, dog, is just knowing you have to. You could either keep going and have a week of results, or you could have a week of excuses. We all heard that saying, dog, and
Yep.
it's real.
Yep.
It's real. And I'm at an age where I can't waste no more time. I can't spend another night drinking, getting fucked up when I got this dream life that I want.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I want a house. I want more than a house, dog. I want to own properties. I want to do all of this. And what I was doing, it was holding me back from that.
Hell
So
yeah.
that right there, dog, is everything.
Man, you brought up two good points. Man. Especially with the accountability.
Yeah.
Instagram, homie. That's like you follow Wes or no? Wes
Yeah, I
Washington?
follow Wes Washington.
Okay,
Yeah,
fool. Like that fool. I feel like my opinion is like that fool is like the grandfather of this all. You got it cracking. You know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah, he
and that
turned
might
it
be
up.
like I said. That might just be my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But Coach Guerrero went through with worked out with him with the
Yeah,
whoop.
yeah, yeah.
That's how we get this sick ass.
No,
I just
no,
call
he-
it a lineage, homie. Like we do in rehab and shit. Like
Yeah,
it's the
yeah, yeah.
lineage, right? But
he turned it up.
right? So, and he talks about that too, right? The accountability. Homie, I'm on here every single day accountable, you know what I'm saying? You know what I
Yeah.
do, right? And that's kind of like what we follow in the structure, right? And people won't voice it because then they got to follow through.
Yeah, yeah,
And so people that don't follow,
exactly.
right? That's what I'm saying. So that's one of your points. So people that are afraid to voice it because they're afraid that they won't follow, they don't have that belief in themselves.
They're not gonna follow through with their own word.
They don't believe in it. They don't believe in themselves enough. What's the easiest thing to do, dog? Hey, I'm gonna just get loaded. And for me, dog, I've relapsed a couple times, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Me, how I didn't get sober, bro, because I wanted to. Because I'm just like, hey, dog, I need to change my life. I got a
Yeah.
13-year-old, or I got an 8-year-old at this time, right?
Yeah.
I didn't get sober for my kid, dog. I didn't get sober because my circumstances made me willing. So I ended up rehab, dog. That's how I learned about sobriety and all that, homie. Because
Yeah.
with the family, cousins, homie, ain't nobody gets homies that get sober
sober.
two ways. They get busted, or they have a family and they settle down for them.
Yeah, yeah,
and they
yeah,
change,
for-
homie.
yeah,
but
yeah.
those, you know what I mean? So there's like one or two options. Rehab was one of those things I experienced, and I'm grateful God put that, in my path.
Put that in
and
for
that's
you,
how
yeah.
I even got into training, homie. You know what I'm
From
saying?
being so
For being sober.
Yeah.
For being sober. Then I seen Wes online. He had it cracking, and I watched him for a while, dog. I watched
motivated
him
you?
for like a minute. For hell yeah, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Until I signed up with him. That's how I got
That's how
into
you
it.
started, yeah.
Started with that fool. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, yeah.
But I started with him, but I was watching him for like 9 months. And I would just YouTube, dog.
Watching,
You know what I
listening
mean?
and paying attention.
Yeah, I wasn't even on Instagram at that point, bro. I had deleted it because of my drinking
stuff
years
going on
and
and
all
stuff.
that.
Yeah, you want to be off
so-
of it. Yeah. And
so-
social media is a big thing. People don't understand like what you follow. You're probably gonna follow the things that you see. So
Yeah.
if I follow a bunch of alcohol pages, I'm probably gonna want to go drink on Friday night, dog.
True.
Or I'm gonna want to try that new food spot. So I always tell people, watch what you follow, because when you're scrolling through your phone every day,
Every
all
day.
day, and you're seeing junk food, weed, alcohol, you trying to stop, you're gonna give in, dog. So like with my pages, I really only follow fitness. I mean, of course, I follow my homies, follow other fitness pages and stuff like
Right,
that.
right.
But I won't follow certain things that if I know it's gonna, give negative thoughts, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm real smart with what I follow. Anything I follow, it gotta be a reason for it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Some type of either business, smart, motivational, fitness, stuff like that. That's the only things that I follow, because it plays a big influence in your mind, dog. Whatever you put in your mind, whatever you see, you're gonna follow through with that.
I believe that.
It's like with music. I'm not gonna lie. There's certain songs I put on sometimes, and I'm in the car, and I'm like, "Oh man, I gotta chill out," because
change
I'm over here looking around like,
Change
you know
it.
what I'm saying? Yeah, like I'm like, wait a minute, I'm going backwards, dog. This song is turned up, and I'm feeling a certain way. Someone could see me and be like, "Oh, who's this fool?" Like pulling up like this. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's negative.
Right.
So I always try to stay positive everywhere I go. So sometimes I got to turn the music down a little bit. I was gonna put sounds, but I'm even thinking about that, because then I'm just it's an image. You're gonna be like, "Oh, this fool pulling up, bumping.
Right.
Who's this fool?" You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yep.
And it just brings negativity. And this
Yeah.
is things that I'm learning, dog, because I've been in certain situations, and I'm like, damn, I could have avoided that one if I just moved a little bit smarter.
Right.
I could have avoided that, but now I'm here, and now I got to handle it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, yeah, that's how it is right there, man.
Another point you brought up earlier in our conversation, though, going to the gym, homie, is after you get into it. At first, is like the hardest thing, right?
Yeah.
For people that aren't used to it or that don't work out like that, it's hard for them to get there.
Yeah.
And then it's hard for them to, like, they don't know what to do, machines and whoop-de-whoop, right? But you brought up a good point. right? Once you get into it, dog, working out is the easy part, bro.
Yeah, that's the easy part.
The other 23 hours you have in that day, right? Whether it's sleep, it's food, it's a full-time job. I know you work full-time. We talked about that earlier, dog.
Yeah.
So, for someone who works full-time, whether your schedule is your schedule, bro. I got blue collar homies that they work out of towns and unions and stuff. They really want to train and stuff, but and they're limited on time
on what they
because you got a family, you got kids, you got a wife, right?
Different responsibilities.
So even if you don't have those responsibilities right now or just yet, what could you help the homies out, help people out with, like, getting over those objections, like why they can't make it to the gym, why they can't eat better food. You know what I'm saying? Because they work full time, they work 12 hours a day, homie. What's give them some solutions that they could start to put in everyday practice.
So they have the right thought, right? They don't want to go to the gym. They don't want to spend that time going to the gym and stuff like that or eating right because they know it's time consuming.
Right.
So they want to spend that time with their family.
Yes.
But realistically, a better you, a healthy you, more in shape you is going to be a better parent, a better cousin, a better brother, a better sister, follower, or whatever you are.
Right.
You're going to be a better person from taking care of yourself. So people, they have the right idea, but they just don't have the right, how do I say it? Like, they need to change their motive. They should want to go to the gym so that way they could be better for their family. Because that's what getting in shape does. It makes you a better person.
Yeah.
And then what it's going to do, it's going to trickle over to your kids,
Right.
to your family, to your lady. I've had homies, they start working out. I got them to start working out. And then all of a sudden now their lady wants to work out.
Right.
So it's like a domino effect. Even my clients. I got clients, they hit me up. They get on a program. It's just one of them. Then all of a sudden they hit me up. Hey, my girl wants to get on a program. And I'm like, I told you from the jump. I tell almost all of my clients, when you start getting in shape and you start getting results, whoever's in your house, they're going to see it. And they're going to want to hop on too.
Right.
And then they're like, man, you were right. And I'm like, I told you, bro, when you start doing that, you're like a figure. And then you look at certain people and you're like, man, if he could do it, I could do it too. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to switch up that mindset and understand that time that you spend, you go to work for 8, 12 hours for another man.
For sure.
You can't go work on yourself for an hour, 30 minutes. Your results might be limited from 30 minutes, but you could still get some results. You know what I'm saying? You bust down on the floor,
Right.
bust down in your garage, but you see people don't have that energy. They rather scroll on the phone for that 30 minutes.
There
You know what I'm saying? So you got to just switch up your mindset, dog. Instead of being on the phone, hit 30 burpees.
Watching TV.
Instead of watch TV, hit some burpees.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All you need is a floor. I could bust down right here on this podcast and show a workout right here, literally
Right.
with 5-on-1s on, this right here, my hat, my glasses. I could bust down a workout, but people want to ignore it. They're like, oh, I can't do that. What
Right.
you mean you could do it? You just don't want to. You don't have that drive. You just got to switch it up. You could either keep, going backwards and gaining weight, or you could achieve the dream body that you want and feel good about yourself. So you just got to look in the mirror. That's all it is. Look in the mirror.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of people have a lot of objections. I've been on calls like with trying to recruit clients and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
you hear a bunch of objections.
Yeah, I know how it
you
goes.
do. You know what I'm saying? I know you do. You know what I mean?
I know how it goes.
So they'll just make an excuse out of anything, bro.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know what
for
I'm saying?
sure, 100%.
And that's all good. Like you said, we can't make you can't make anybody
You can't force nobody to do nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I've learned that. I have clients that, they'll tell me straight up, hey, I'm going to have a cheat meal. And it's like, I'm not going to argue with you. I can't want your results more than you want it. So you're going to go cheat and eat that?
Don't get mad at me when you
Don't get mad at me at the end of the week when the scale went up and it didn't go down, or when you look exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I have clients like that, and it's like, dude, they send me their weight, and then they're all disappointed, and I'm like, bro, you just told me that you went 8 like an asshole. What did you expect? The scale was just going to ignore that day? It don't work like that, dog. Like, you can't skip it. You can't skip that process. So people just got to understand whatever you put in, you're going to get out.
Right.
And that goes for everything in life, dog.
So Instagram blew up.
Yes,
You think you were going crazy on TikTok too? You said
That's where it started.
that's where it started, right?
That's where it started.
I seen you reposting and I watched your stuff and it started on TikTok then.
Yeah, it
and
started-
it
started from-
spilled over to IG. Or was talk a little bit about that, dog.
So pretty much, I was going to Walmart just a normal day, and then I'm getting out the car. We just left the gym, and then my girl she's recording me, and then she's telling me, "Oh, keep going," and I'm getting irritated. I'm like, "Man, stop recording me!" Like, if you pay attention to that one video I'm talking about, I look over and I say something because I was getting irritated kind of because I'm like, "Dude, come on, let's just go to the store." You know what I'm saying? And then she recorded the video, and then she showed me, and I was like, "Oh." I was like, that's what you were talking about because it looked good.
Yeah.
So when I posted it, I didn't really think nothing of it. I was just like, it's just a little TikTok video. None of my videos ever went crazy or nothing.
Sure.
I posted it. I don't have my notifications on. All of a sudden, a few hours later, I go just to check it out, blew up.
Crazy.
Comments. That was my first video ever that like
She went viral.
comments are going crazy. My girl's like, what's going on with these comments? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know how to handle it. You know what I'm saying? Because I've never had something blow up like that.
Right.
So that's how it started, dog. So then from TikTok, I have my Instagram connected.
There you go.
So I think everybody from there started clicking on my TikTok, following me on Instagram. And then everything in my bio says hit me up for coaching and stuff like that.
Boom.
So that's how everything kind of just opened up, just from that right there. That's how it started, dog. All from a video that I was getting mad at my girl about. And I was telling her, like, stop, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
And it turned out to what it turned out to, dog. So without that video, she messes with me. Without that video, for real, I shot her out. I wouldn't have my page like this because it says how many followers you gained from that page. From that video, I mean.
Oh.
And I gained most of my followers were from that.
That's crazy.
Just from
man.
that video, dog. It says it. I'll show you later. When you go to your reels, it'll say how many followers from that reel.
That's
so I
insane.
got a lot of followers from that reel, dog.
That's pretty wild,
Yeah,
dog.
yeah.
I looked one day and I was like, damn, homie.
Out of nowhere,
had
huh?
less than 10K. Motherfuckers in the
I had like
550.
Yeah,
I said, damn,
yeah.
homie. And I know it was authentic, homie. That's why I was
Yeah,
like,
it was real.
I was like, damn,
Yeah,
the homie really
yeah.
went up, dog. You know what I'm saying?
You could tell from the likes, the comments. Like, there's a lot of pages that there's people that have like 1 million followers, but then you go to their page, they got like 100 likes. You know what I'm saying? So it don't add up. So when you go to my page, dog, it's there. You know what I'm saying? There might be a couple fakes and stuff like that, but
is what it
it's
is.
part of the program. It's gonna happen. You know what I
Right.
mean? But as far as my page being genuine and real, just go to the likes, dog. Go to the likes, go to the views. You can swipe
Yeah.
over to the videos and
Nah,
you see what it is. You know what I mean?
I don't think, I don't even think anybody can contest. I mean, but your comments are pretty wild, dog. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah,
so you
read
probably
them?
will,
You read them?
I read a few, like I said, the burp. I was like, damn, because I was like, dog, what's up with your? I think I commented like, homie, what's up with the? Or I messaged you, what's up with the comments, homie?
Oh,
like, bro,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
crazy,
remember?
dog.
Yeah,
Like it's crazy, and I'm like,
yeah.
hey, but you know what? Like you said, dog, as much time and effort we put into to be negative, if we could flip that and do the positive. I mean, people could really start so they can make progress in their life. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, they
you
can
as a
benefit
coach,
from
you
that,
as an
yeah.
online coach. Let's clarify this, dog, because people think, okay, why should I sign up with Coach Bandit? Why should I train with Silva's Fit? Right? They think, homie, that they're just gonna get a workout plan and a diet plan, and of course, those are the fundamentals, right? But clarify, dog, that this is not only just training in the gym. This is like life coaching, homie.
Yeah,
right.
It spreads out to your life.
You see what I'm saying?
Business, money.
Talk about how it affects these parts in your life. I know you said earlier some of the positives that came. You got your own, pad. You got this. You got that. Talk about how it affects other areas in our life, dog.
I mean, it just changes you all around, and you get what's the word? You get positive. You understand that you could do more, you could achieve more.
Right.
Because when I was drinking and shit like that, I didn't think I could do certain things because I knew I'm gonna be hungover. I'm not gonna go do this. I'm not gonna do that. So when you get in shape, you hire a coach. You got someone mentoring you. Your personal life is gonna get better. You're gonna be better at work. You're gonna feel better. You're gonna be more energized. You're gonna look better. So when you look good, I don't care what nobody said. When you look good, you get a nice fit. You feel good. So imagine taking off that shirt. You don't even need a fit. You could put on some normal shorts,
Right.
and you could feel good from there. And it's like, oh man. So when you feel good about yourself, it just makes everything better. Everything, a thousand times better. You know what I'm saying?
You're not really hating. You're not really.
You don't care.
You're not hating on yourself to begin with.
You're not negative talking to yourself. You don't even if you're a hater, you probably won't be a hater no more because you're learning, hey, that's not the right way to be. This is negative. Like, I don't want to be a hater no more because there's people out there, they're haters, are realistically. But it doesn't mean that they can't change their life around and be like, okay, you know what? I don't want to be a hater no more. Let me hire this coach and let me see what happens. And every time you get on a program, if you follow the work, you're going to get the results.
Okay.
Mentally and physically.
That's right.
So, but a lot of people, they want that 3 months. They want it to come in 30 days. Don't work like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a process. I've been working on 11 years. Didn't happen in 30 days. It wasn't a 30-day trial. People think it's a trial. Nah, it's a lifestyle. So once you use this 3 months and then you use it to turn it into a lifestyle. So once you create that habit, it's not a 3-month trial no more. Now this is your life. This is what you do. And when you move around positive like that, you're gonna have your days. You might have a bad day, an off day, but you're gonna get good in return because God knows what you're doing. He knows your movement. He knows your motive. That's the only thing that I can say is He sees what you're doing. So he's gonna bless you, whether it's today, tomorrow, in 2 years, it's gonna return.
Talk about that.
That's what I keep in mind. Every single thing that I do, even if someone rubs me the wrong way, I try to be cool. I try to just, you know what? I'm gonna let it be. I know God's gonna return this favor somehow. In some form, some way, down the line, he's gonna return it. You know what I mean? So
Show some grace.
yeah. So that's how I move, man. That's how I move.
Are you Are you spiritual, homie, or what? Like, you know what I mean? As far
I wouldn't
as
say
you
I'm
believe in
big.
God or what? Yeah.
For sure, but I believe in God for sure.
That's right.
There's no way without God. There's so many nights where I wasn't supposed to make it home, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Like, rest in peace to my boy right here. The first night that I got introduced to, you know what I mean, the neighborhood and stuff like that, they, you know, a tweaker got him, dog.
Mm-hmm.
So from day one, I knew God was looking out for me because I left like 10 minutes before.
Wow.
So I had just left. He gave me his bike to go home.
Wow.
My lip was busted, so I had to get like 11, 12 stitches. So I was up all night in the hospital. And then I get a call like at 7 in the morning. I'm leaving the hospital. I'm literally, finally, I'm like, yeah, I get to leave. I get to go home, sleep. The stitches were bothering me. We get in the car. My dad, my stepmom, my dad's pissed because my lips busted. He knew what was going on.
Yeah.
And then I get a phone call, and he's like, hey, you know, my boy got shot. I'm like, what? We just with him. I'm like, I got his bike. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, he's good though, right? Got quiet.
Mm.
And I'm like, what's up, dog? Like, nah, fool. And I just hung up, dog. I didn't know how to process that, you know what I mean? So instead of me going home, just being on, you know, going to sleep, I had to deal with something else. So that's how I knew, dog, from the jump, from the day one that I started, God was looking out for me because for some reason, something told me to go home.
Mm.
And like I said, I was from Dominguez to Long Beach, took that bike home, and like I said, 10 minutes later, all that shit happened. So that's how I knew, you know what I mean?
It's crazy, man. Yeah, bro. You know, definitely. You know, I'm happy to hear that. You know, you do have your faith, you know what I mean, and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's there.
That's what I'm talking.
It's undeniable.
About, bro. That's right.
You know
That's
what I mean?
real.
I know I should be into it more, and I definitely talk on my own, you know, but I know I could be doing more, and I should be, because all the blessings that I've got in return,
Yeah.
the guidance, the streets that I could have turned on, but something told me to turn to this one. When if I would have went to that one, I would have been screwed. I wouldn't be here today. You know what I'm saying? So just knowing that that's how it happened, I know for sure. You know, I was looked out for sure, for the higher above. You know what I mean? It wasn't no random calling. You know what I'm saying?
That's right, dog. And believe that. You know what I mean? Believe that. Believe that. You know, he's gonna use you to get his message out, or
Yeah,
to
for
bring
sure.
to bring him
Yeah.
in, to bring him in, right?
To other from others.
To bring him in, man. So, I got a couple more questions to you right now before we wrap it up, my boy. Training with Swifty Blue.
Oh yeah, Swifty.
What's
Blue,
up with the
yeah,
homie
yeah.
Swifty, man? Yeah, fool
Shout out to
doing
the
rutina,
homie.
what's up,
that
man?
fool checked in, dog.
That's crazy.
But yeah, he's been following me for a minute.
You
And then you know, we talked here and there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then one day he was like, "Hey, what's up, dog? I'm trying to program."
That's right.
So gave him my number, called me, we linked up. And then, yeah, dog, that was that. We checked in, you feel what I'm saying? Everything was cool, worked out, did some burpees. I mean, there's a video out, you know what I'm saying? If you follow it, you'll see what happens. The homie was working out. And I'm different, dog. When I do burpees, it takes a minute for me to get tired. And sometimes I get carried away. So we kept going, and then that fool had to run straight to the bathroom, dog, or to the trash can. And I was like, "You good, my boy?" He was like, "Yeah, dog, I don't know why this happens, dog." So I guess he's threw up before, you know?
Okay.
But it's because he's not used to working out.
He's not conditioned.
Yeah. So when I put him on that, he was like, "Oh, for sure, I'm gonna tap in with you, you know, like you know what you're doing." I was like, "All right,
Yeah.
for sure, dog." So yeah, shout out to that fool, dog. He's cool people, dog. I know he got a lot of hate and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but person to person, you know, he's a solid dude.
That's tight, homie. I'm always bumping that shit. Don't Fold, man. That's fucking Jams be
Yeah,
bumping that
he
shit.
got some bangers, dog.
He got some bangers,
He got
man,
some
too.
I know he gets a lot of hate, but as far as lyrics and stuff like that,
Yeah.
he could for sure. He's up there, dog. Like
Yeah.
with homies, with rapping and stuff like that. He's for sure in my eyes. He's up there, but I get the
Yes.
hate that he gets a lot of hate, so
You know.
it kind of puts his shine away. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So you know how the
Kind of
game goes.
The
yeah.
negativity. Imagine guys like him. You know, imagine they train, they get sober.
That's what I told him. I said,
going
look,
forward.
I told him straight up like this. I said, look, dog, you could rap. You know, you got the beats. Imagine if you get in shape and you pull up in your videos looking like me. You know how much attention it's gonna bring attention to you. So once you get in shape, dog, it betters your business. It just betters everything around you, because then you look like a statue. You look like a role model. Like, oh damn, this fool's doing this. How many rappers are really in shape? So imagine being one of the ones that are really, really ripped up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna pass some people up, dog, because
Yeah.
your looks are everything. And when it comes to social media, when you got the looks and you bring value to the table, that's what blows up.
That's what I'm talking about.
So like for me, my page, something I didn't touch on is my page didn't blow up until I started bringing value. Yeah, I look good. I could post a workout video. It's gonna get some tension, but I realized it wasn't going how I wanted it to. So the moment I started talking, being more positive, breaking things down and bringing more value,
There you go.
then my looks and the value, that's when it went together. Because I could post a workout video right now, dog, it's not gonna get that much. But when I start talking, when I get positive, when I speak my mindset, people are like, oh, not only is he buff, he got a mindset.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
stuff like that, dog, people don't realize it changes up your life, dog, for real. For real.
Online coaching, without getting too much into detail, without giving up, obviously the tricks of the trade, what can people look forward to when they sign up with you, dog? You know what I'm saying? What can they expect? You know what I mean?
You sign up the program, as long as you follow suit, you're gonna lose the weight. You're gonna get the results you want, but that's only if you follow suit. So pretty much you hop on a program, it's the drinking's done, the drugs are done, whatever vices you got, it's all out. So what we do here is not only you physically get fit, you're gonna mentally change. Because look, what happens when you get sober? Mentally, your mindset's different, right? You stop doing drugs. You get even more smarter. You know what I mean? You start seeing different things. And the moment that you see the results, that's when you start believing. All of my clients, dog, when they first hit me up, they're kind of skeptical. They don't feel this, they don't feel that. Most times, the first week, they hit me up on Friday for the check-in, and they're like, man, oh, they see the scale drop down. They're like, oh, man, I didn't know I could do this.
Right.
And it's like, dog, you follow the program, you follow suit, you're going to get the life that you want. So that right there is what you can look forward to, dog, is you're going to change. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. When you build yourself, you get strong, you're going to be emotionally stronger too, dog. So that's something that
That's
a lot
important.
of people, yeah, it's important, dog. You can't only be physically strong, dog. I could be the strongest dude, the buffest dude, but if mentally I'm weak, all this shit means nothing.
Right.
These biceps, these legs, arms, chest, whatever it is that we got, it means nothing if you can't have a mindset to back that up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You bring no value to the table. You're going to be weak-minded. Something's going to happen, and then you're going to fold because you got a weak mindset. That's what a lot of people happen. They might be strong on the outside, but some deep shit hit them, that's when they fold. That's why you got fools PC up, fools, you know what I'm saying? They start telling and stuff like that because mentally their mindset's not there. So you start building that mindset, you're going to be strong in any situation. And that's how you got to look at it.
Right. Daily habits. Let's talk about what's the daily habits? What's the daily habits to be successful, dog? I know we train. I know we see what you post, what you eat. Obviously, the food is a big factor.
Yes, sir.
What are some daily habits, man? Drop some gems on them. Even if, let's just say they don't sign up today, they don't sign up with you. You drop some gems on them and let them know what they can do daily to even just see progress on their own.
Progress on your own is just do something every single day that's going to benefit you tomorrow. Whether it's something little, whether you dive into it full force, or you do something small. It's not always about, it's like when you stop smoking. It's hard for people to just go cold turkey.
Right.
Sometimes you got to smoke less. Sometimes you might have to go from a cigarette to a vape. But eventually, you know what I'm saying, you're going to get there. So that's all it's about, dog. When you go like that, you do something every single day, whether it's little, small, the results are going to come, dog. That's pretty much all it is. Keep doing something that's going to benefit you, and you're going to get results in the long term. Not something that you're going to get forward in a week, in a year. Okay, in a year, I stop doing this. By the end of the year, I'll be done smoking. I'll be done drinking. You do that for everything, you're going to achieve your goal, dog, no matter what it is. School, fitness, studying. You want to be smarter.
Yeah.
You start moving like that, you're going to get it. It's just going to take time. So one day at a time of doing something.
Right.
Most people do nothing, dog. What they do, they come home, kick their feet up, open up that beer, scroll on the phone, play with the kids. Yeah, you're doing your part as a father, you know what I mean? But you're slacking a little bit because you know you could be doing something else. And it's going to even show them, like, okay, you know, this is the standard. Dad comes home, he works out. Then he comes spends time with us.
Right.
What's that? What do you think that's going to do for your kids, dog? It's going to set an example.
They're
So
gonna follow that.
instead of them seeing you drinking on the couch, they're not even going to know what that is. You know what I mean? They're not going to want to do that, dog. So that's pretty much what it is. You know what I'm saying?
How'd you get linked in with Condemned Labs? I know that's what you're rocking right now. So you're
Condemn Labs. So they see my
ambassador.
page.
I don't know if you know the homie Warpath.
Yeah. Actually, I did some work with him too, man. I went through his mentorship as well. So I seen him on that. You know what I mean? I seen him on that.
So
Shout out to
Warpath, me and Warpath, we talked, and he's cool people, dog. So I think they reached out to him, and we're looking for people that are like-minded like him. He shouted me out, dog. So they hit me up, we hopped on a phone call, and that was pretty much it. Went from there, we talked, we had that business call. I posted on social media when I was on Zoom, and then they liked my movement. You know, they wanted people that are that changed their life, you know, started from somewhere low, but then they changed it around. So we connected off of that. You know what I mean? So that's how it all started, dog. Warpath shouted me out. They see my page and they messed with it. You know what I mean? They seen the message, pretty much, you know?
Oh, yeah. Bandit, man. Appreciate you having to sit down with my boy. It's been real. It's been a good one too, man. We're getting to know a little bit more about you in depth and detail and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, man. Once again, shout out 710 Studios, the boy right here, the homie Greedy, my boy right here. You know, the guys behind the scenes, man. Is there anything you want to leave them with before we get up out of here, man?
Man, shout out to the homies. You need a studio, you need a podcast, you know, your music. My boy got everything coming up, man. So you come in right here and tap in with them, they're gonna get you right. So shout out to the homies for having us.
Right.
I appreciate it. My boy right here knows I support 100%, dog, whether it's a post, repost. Somebody asked me about music. I'm not a rapper, dog, but I'll tell you, hey, dog, my boy right here, he raps too. He got the studio, you know what I'm saying? My boy right here does art. So if there's some artwork that somebody needs, I send them right here this way, dog. So shout out to my boys right here, man. They known them for a long time, dog. They see me when I was a kid, so I'm sure the way they hear me talk now, they're probably like, damn, knowing me from when I was younger to my mindset was, I've always had a similar mindset, like strong mindset, but it was for the wrong things.
Sure.
So to switch it around now, they know who I am before this, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to the homies, dog. They've been there and I'm always there for them. They know what's up, dog.
Anything for your followers?
For the followers, man, just keep going, stay positive. There's something out there that you want to do, just do it. It doesn't matter what somebody else thinks, whether they're negative about it, whether they don't like your movement, just do it, dog. Look what happened with me. A lot of people, they talk shit about my fitness. Oh, you're going to the gym again. Oh, you're doing this. Why you work out so much? Look what it came for my life, dog.
That's right.
I became a whole different person. So whatever it is, man, stay tuned, stay strong. It's just stay solid, dog. That's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
That's right, Bandit. Well, for sure, my boy. Let's just keep running it, my boy. It's been a good one, and we'll lock it in again
Yeah,
or something.
for sure.
You know
Yeah, this was dope, dog. We're going to do more for sure. We're going to tap in right here. Like I said, 710 Studios. Right here in the Harbor area.
710.
Right here, man. Come through.
All right, my boy.